have been obsessed with Smosh's podcast, where they just read Reddit stories. I've been really enjoying it. It's just Smosh reads Reddit stories. That's the name of the podcast. I listened to all of it. I binged the entire series. Could not get enough. Now I'm upset because I'm out of episodes. I have to find something else to listen to on my drive to places. So I was like, I want to read Reddit stories. Okay, the r/mi the asshole subreddit specifically is what we're focusing on today. And we're going to decide if these people are the a-holes. I am joined by Ambush and Delta, and I'm very excited for this.
How are we gonna do this?
Well, I thought if you guys want to read your stories, you can. How we did this, folks, is I picked out 3 stories, Ambush picked out 3 stories, and Delta picked out 3 stories as well, I think. So we all have our own stories. Yeah. This way, we know that they're like okay to read on Twitch. Yes. And
they are.
Then we all get something new to us because it's fun to be surprised and hear somebody read it to you or read it yourself. It doesn't matter, something new, and you can just go So I
was under the impression we were reading our own
stories. That's fine. We can do
the
that.
Audience.
We can do that.
I was
whatever.
If
you guys get tired of reading, I can read them all too.
I was wondering if we were gonna do like yours, mine, Delta's, back to yours, mine.
We can
Delta's,
do that. That works.
Yeah, so therefore we're not all reading
excited.
3 in a row. I feel like it would give us a little time to breathe and stuff.
Yes, agreed.
I feel like mine are silly. My
God.
That's good. They should be silly.
Lame.
Mine, I wanted to be very dramatic, so that's what I looked for.
Okay. Oh my lord. Okay. Well.
But like silly dramatic.
We'll see.
Like dramatic. Okay, let's get into it. I'm reading first.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This one I kind of picked last minute because the one I had earlier got deleted. So this is a new one that I found.
All right.
And it was reposted on Am I the Devil? Which is where the really bad ones go.
I didn't know about this. Maybe I should have went to this area.
I went to Am I the Asshole for all of them, but then I was like, let's check Am I the Devil, which they were initially posted on they were initially posted on Am I the Asshole, but people repost them on Am I the Devil because they're so bad.
Damn. Okay, I'm excited.
God.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Am I the asshole for not asking my girlfriend of 3 years to be my +1 at my best friend's wedding? Hey Reddit, throwaway here for a situation that's causing some tension. Here's the rundown. I, 30 male, am set to be a groomsman and witness at my best friend Mike's wedding. Mike and I share a deep bond that spans years, and I'm genuinely thrilled to be a part of his big day. The challenge is that I haven't invited my girlfriend, Sarah, 29 female, of 3 years, to be my +1. It's not just about past mistakes and concerns about her affecting the mood, but there's an additional layer. She doesn't like Mike. Despite Mike and I being as close as brothers, he has consistently given her the cold shoulder, intensifying her dislike for him. During our conversation about not inviting her, I brought up her dislike for Mike, and she admitted it. Sarah's willing to set aside her feelings to support me, but there's another layer to this saga. I've previously made a mistake in our relationship, and she's still working through trust issues. She's not confrontational in public, but I've noticed that when other individuals are around, her discomfort is palpable. This has led to occasional outbursts, making me wary of bringing her into social situations where her insecurities might be triggered. Adding to the complexity, I'm away for work frequently, so Sarah was genuinely excited to be spending 3 days with me during the wedding, as we don't get much quality time. Considering her past reactions, ongoing trust issues, and the limited time we have together, I'm concerned that having her at the wedding might not only affect her enjoyment, but also impact the overall mood of the celebration. Balancing my loyalty to Mike and my responsibility to ensure Sarah doesn't feel out of place is proving to be a tough call. Am I the asshole for deciding not to bring her Taking into account her dislike for Mike, concerns about her affecting the celebratory atmosphere, and the ongoing trust issues we're going through, especially when she was looking forward to this time together.
Okay, first of all, what are these ongoing trust issues?
I
Does
know.
I
Make
would like
this
to
man,
know.
like, cheat?
I think
Like,
so.
that's
It
what
sounds like
I
it.
think so.
like.
I think
Yeah,
so.
it sounds like he cheated on his girlfriend, and now she is obviously wary. And
Yeah.
honestly, she should just be leaving him because cheaters is a cheater at the end of the
I
day.
agree. It
Well,
sounds
that
like
is
he cheated.
assuming
and
that
he's
is
trying to downplay
assuming
it.
if it is cheating.
I mean, what else could
Trust
it be?
issues, like that's probably what it comes
It
from.
sounds in the fact that he didn't state it. A lot of times when people are trying to avoid the hatred of a group of people, they don't say the exact thing they did. They'll be like, "Yeah, we're having ongoing trust issues."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
doesn't want people to be more against him on Reddit, so he's like trying to
Yeah.
downplay. It
Yeah.
sounds like he
Wow.
cheated for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it sounds like it's not only that he's worried about, like, if he's so concerned about her being bothered and like insecure at the wedding, then it sounds like he's planning on flirting or doing more with people at the wedding, honestly. If he's
I think he's selfish.
Yeah, I mean, he's already the asshole because he's on the "Am I
He's
the
the
devil?"
asshole.
yeah. Yeah, he was voted the
Oh.
asshole on Reddit.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah,
That's
a spoiler.
no, it's not. This is when we tell you.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So
okay.
some of the comments.
Well, he is the devil.
Yeah.
that was
He,
really fun.
That was
yeah.
good.
So in the comments, somebody said he cheated. He cheated with someone that will be at the wedding or that's part of the social circle. But let's
Yeah,
see
you
how
know
he
what?
reframed the
Of
story.
course.
1, Mike, his best friend, gives her this cold shoulder. She doesn't like Mike. 2, I cheated on her, breaking the trust in a relationship. Her insecurities might be triggered. 3, the person I cheated with is going to be there. I've noticed when other individuals are around, her discomfort is palpable. 4,
Yes.
because I've cheated on her and my best friend basically isn't AH to her. What does that mean? Asshole. Got it.
Yeah.
I don't think she should come. I'm worried if I bring her, she might affect my enjoyment and the mood of the event. Wow, you were like the gaslighting champion. Like the way you
What's
moved
happening?
words around and formed logical sentences is like witchcraft. I really gotta applaud you. Oh yeah, you're the asshole if I didn't make it clear.
I can't- Yeah, this one is an obvious case of he's the
Yeah.
asshole. I
Oh,
can't
yeah,
even
he's
believe
obviously.
he tried.
Yeah, he's definitely like I don't know, man. It sounds like this relationship needs either therapy or to end because she deserves better.
She does
Not
deserve
therapy.
better.
Not therapy. It's this has to end. Okay, this has to end.
Yeah, I agree, but
He needs therapy, thinking that he can get away with this shit.
Exactly.
yeah.
Did he really think that he was not the asshole? Like, come on.
That's what people always do. They're like
that's
they
it.
don't they want people to
Am
say
I
they're not
the
the
asshole
asshole so
here?
they feel less bad about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not the asshole though. There's some not the asshole stories, you know.
Wait, question though.
Yes.
Were we supposed to read comments? Because I didn't read
Exactly.
shit about comments.
you don't
Me neither.
I didn't read the comments ahead of time. I just
Okay.
we read
Did
like
you
a
start reading
comment or two
comments?
Oh
afterwards.
my
At least that's
God.
a format
I didn't know
in the
that.
Smash.
My
the
butt
Smash podcast.
clenched.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
a little
nervous.
No, you didn't. I would have told you if you had to prep comments.
bit. Okay.
Okay, who wants to read next?
I could go next. This was posted 12 hours ago, so it's still fresh. All right.
Ooh.
This
okay,
is-
okay.
But it has a lot of upvotes, so that's why I like looked at it originally. It says, "Am I the asshole for telling another mother's our children aren't close anymore due to intelligence levels?"
Dude, that one I saw reposted on Am I the Devil. I didn't
Oh,
read
shit.
it, but I saw the title reposted.
Oh shit.
All right.
Yeah. Gosh, spoilers.
That's not. Okay, go.
Okay. Anyways, my daughter, let's call her Sophie, used to be
Okay.
best friends with Kat. They used
Okay.
to be best friends in elementary school, but ever since middle school have started to grow apart. The
Mhm.
school split the kids in advanced and normal for math and science. All other classes are still together. My daughter got placed in the advanced and Kat got placed in normal. No big deal. They still see each other in school. They were still close friends until group projects. They have been multiple There have been multiple group projects and kids get to pick their partners. Kat and Sophie usually work together, and that is when the issues start happening. Sophie would get really frustrated that the work Kat did wasn't correct. I told her to just turn it in without fixing it, and she got a bad grade on that assignment. After that, Sophie went through a period of time fixing stuff. After a while, I told her to stop doing group projects with her. So they stopped doing projects together and the friendship blew up. So
Oh.
they are not friends anymore. It's Sophie's birthday and were sent out. Kat wasn't on the invite list. My daughter, wait, hold on, let me reread that.
Yeah, yeah,
Kat
yeah, yeah.
wasn't on the invite list my daughter made. I got a call from her mother asking why she wasn't invited. I informed her they aren't really friends anymore. She said invite her anyway since this is just a spat. I told her that the people invited were people my daughter wanted at the event. This went on for a while and came to why they weren't friends anymore. I said it was due to both girls' intelligence levels and tried to explain the group project issue. She got pissed, accused me I am calling her kid dumb. I never said that.
Kind
She
of
called me a
are.
jerk. There is an edit though, but I don't want to read the edit until after your full thoughts. But that's
Okay.
the
That's the
Okay,
whole thing?
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can't stop looking at the sparkling jar in the background while listening to the tea. Isn't it nice? Sparkly? Sorry.
Very cozy.
I think kind of the asshole. I think that the parents a bit of like the friend's parents a bit of an asshole because you can't force somebody to invite your kid to a party. That's very like entitled and a very parent thing to do that will make their kid kind of spoiled. And
Mhm.
but I also think that the parent of our OP original poster is the asshole because like basically called the kid unintelligent to the mother's face. That's just not something you should say about a kid at all, or like anyone
Yeah.
in general. That's just rude.
I agree. My like personal opinion on this is just like, yeah, I don't think the mother of Kat should just demand her child to get invited to a birthday party because that's not how life works. Okay, at the end of the day, you're not going
Exactly.
to get invited to people's birthday parties, even if you
Yeah,
think you're friends with her or not.
yeah,
But also, I think the fact that I think Sophie, the child, has the right to be frustrated with Kat with the whole like projects, especially if you're getting bad grades because your friend is maybe not putting in the work or not not having the right answers and stuff, and then the child is doing all this extra work to make sure that it goes and gets a good grade. Like
well,
maybe the mother should be more aware of that of her
yeah,
child and maybe be help out a little bit more with your child rather than letting another child get your kid a good grade,
yeah, but also like if Kat, that was the name, right? If
Yeah.
Yeah, Kat.
she's
It's Kat and Sophie.
struggling, I don't think that's at all her fault.
No, I don't.
Unless
No.
you were like, unless it's a case of, oh, she just isn't doing the work. Then I definitely think that Sophie is 100% valid in being upset and not wanting to be friends anymore. But just to like not want to be friends purely because Kat like is struggling with the subject, it's kind of, it's
Do
sad.
you think that friendship is fixable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally.
Easily. Easily.
Yeah, I think like honestly, I think since Sophie brought this up to her mother, I personally think the mother should have brought this up to Kat's mother in the first place about it before this whole not wanting to be friends with and all this whole thing. So the edit says, I did tell her that they weren't friends anymore. She kept asking why. That's the reason I brought up the issue of why they aren't friends anymore. I wasn't going to lie. Also, she said she should already know why that friendship blew up. The kids were arguing about it constantly for a while.
How old are these
Oh.
kids? Did they say?
Middle school. It sounds like
Oh,
just
okay.
got into middle school
Okay, that
because
kind of
they were
changes things a bit. I was
elementary.
thinking
Yeah,
they were
see,
little.
these are elementary kids who went into middle school and they were separated for math and science. So Sophie was placed in advanced math and science while Kat was placed in just the regular one. Which, as a regular type of student that never excelled in anything, you know what?
So
I understand.
I think I don't know. I feel like I need more context to like fully rule.
Yeah,
I think
it
that
is hard.
the mom is a bit of an asshole for
I don't think
sure.
the
I
mom
think
is.
the
But, like-
mom did spell correct on this whole thing because there is so many misspelled words in this.
Oh, so she's judging a
I'm-
child's intellect, but
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe you should use I don't know Grammarly or some shit. This
This
stream is
vid-
sponsored by
sponsored by
Grammarly.
Grammarly, yeah. I almost bought the annual Grammarly pass today, and then I realized it's like $100 a year
Yeah.
for Grammarly.
No.
That is
I
not
know,
worth
I-
it. I would pay $5 a month for Grammarly tops. It's
Every
like 20 a month.
year I took that I was in
$13.80.
college, I thought about it. I said, do I want to spend money on Grammarly? And I said, nope, not
No,
this
no,
time. You don't need
Yeah,
it.
it's so
fine.
expensive.
You're good.
Okay, so what does Reddit say? They haven't ruled yet, but what
Ooh.
are the
They
comments
haven't
looking
ruled
like?
it. So, let's see.
'Cause, you know,
one looks
Reddit
like-
are the experts, of course.
This one looks like I got a bunch of comments, so I'm gonna read this
That's a
one.
joke.
I'm gonna assume.
This
Okay.
was funny.
Ooh, but there's 2 comments. One has a whole bunch of upvotes, and the other one has a lot of replies.
Okay,
let's-
okay.
You're the asshole, and in such a way that I worry the universe might collapse around you. First, intelligence isn't really a thing that the way you're thinking of it. Look up Gardner's intelligence and consider these. Is your daughter truly an advance across all domains? Evidently not in the social one. Second, consider what you're teaching your
Ew.
daughter. She's allowed to be rude to and angry at people who score lower than her.
Yeah, that's
Is
what I was
that something
thinking.
that applies to anyone? Because it will be interesting when someone excludes her for not being as advanced as they are. And she internalizes it as being her,
Internalizes?
yeah, I'm dyslexic and can't read. Being her fault because that's what you have taught her. There was a real opportunity to teach her to respond with compassion and humility, which would have given her such valuable characteristics and lessons about how to relate to other people in school and the workplace. Instead, she would really struggle if she repeats this. Go look up a process approach to learning and ask yourself if you're setting up to learn or to stop learning as soon as she feels she is better than someone else. Then somebody else said, how is it wrong for the daughter to not want to work with someone that is messing up her group project and leaving her with more work? There is nothing wrong with her picking another group to work with. It isn't rude. She isn't
But that
entitled
person-
to work with that other girl, and it's entirely normal for middle schoolers to grow apart.
Amen.
True.
But they did edit. I agree that the op is an asshole for calling Cat dumb. But
Yeah.
the comment I replied to claim that Sophie wasn't wrong for leaving Cat in the first place. Which I also agree. Okay, I don't think Sophie shouldn't be friends with Cat. But if Sophie, as a young child, is getting upset that she's having more things to do, maybe she should bring this up. Like maybe
They should communicate, but they're also middle schoolers.
communicate. But they're middle schoolers.
Yeah,
so,
it's like
I mean,
I think it's valid to not want to be class like assignment partners with each other because she doesn't like doing all the work. But I think it's a really sad thing to stop being friends over.
yeah.
And
I was a cat. I actually have a whole story that is exactly like this. Weirdly enough, except I'm pretty sure mom was never told that I was dumb or something.
okay.
But so and this is actually a story about Abby and I.
Okay.
Fun fact. It was freshman year of high school and we were in our freshman science course. I think it's biology? I think, right? Biology is the
No idea. I
freshman-
didn't do high school.
You didn't do it. You just skipped over to college?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I live in the UK. There is no high school.
Yeah, it's just college.
Just college.
Yeah. So because of me, right? I obviously wasn't getting my stuff maybe like viewed by dad or mom or whatever. But I would be helping Abby on a project and I would get things done. But Abby actually had to do more work because she had to like correct a lot of my stuff. One, because dyslexia and not understanding the material because reading textbooks is kind of difficult. And so Abby actually got really mad at me and decided not to be my friend anymore. For an
such a
entire
messed up reason
summer.
to not want to be friends.
I know, and I like
Just
told her,
being
I said,
class partners.
because you like messaged me and she's like, look, I'm kind of tired of like putting more work into it. I really need a good grade in this. I don't know why I keep picking you as a group partner. But I think I need to stop doing this. And I said, I'm sorry. I have dyslexia, so it's a little harder for me to understand the materials. And sometimes, my sentences don't make sense, and I apologize on that. And she said, you always blame everything on dyslexia. Which I was like,
I mean,
maybe.
that's because it's like it is the reason.
But it is the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
see,
like
later
sometimes I feel
on-
like I blame too much stuff on ADHD, but like
Me too.
it is
I
the
think about
reason
it.
sometimes.
Yeah. Later
Wow.
on, we met up again in the next school year, right? And she apologized, and she's like, "Look, I was being rude, and I
Yeah.
understand." And I was like, "Okay, well, I still have dyslexia, so it's not gonna change if you want to be my partner."
Okay, so rerule
I
this
think you're the
as-
asshole.
I think the mother is an asshole, but I
yeah,
think Sophie
I think
and Kat.
Ambush is the asshole in that story.
Yeah,
think
I'm the
Ambush is the
asshole, guys.
asshole.
I'm the asshole. Am I the asshole that I blame everything on dyslexia and ADHD?
Yes.
Pretty much.
I 27
I 27.
have been streaming for 3 years now, and I bring up my mental disorders all the time.
Yes, you are the asshole. Case closed. Anyways, next story. Ready?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Let me get it up. I was about to make a your dad joke, but I stopped myself.
Can I
Anyways,
can I have the link also? I would like to
it's-
read it.
it's in the thing, buddy.
Yeah, all the links. are
Okay,
in the link.
Baco. Okay, Baco.
It's in the group
Okay.
chat, buddy. It's gonna be
I checked the group chat.
it's
True.
you'll know which one it is when I read the title.
Okay.
It's Am I the asshole for kicking my brother and his family out? Wait. Okay, yeah, we'll go with this one next. Am I the asshole for kicking my brother and his family out after he tried to give me a whore-avention?
What?
A
What?
whore-avention.
Okay.
Oh, this is pretty long. I'm
Oh,
ready
yeah,
for it.
like an
I'm ready for the tea.
intervention.
I'm so
but-
ready.
They replace inter with whore, which is not a word I think is very nice, but that's I guess what they
Interesting.
use for.
Okay. I'm
Wait,
ready.
it's not opening right. Okay. Oh, this one is long. Actually, I didn't read this one. I like half read it because I wanted it to be a surprise because the title is so like, yikes, Okay. I am having oh no, it's already grammar errors in it. I'm having
That's a word.
a hard time feeling remorseful, and I'm unwilling to apologize for calling my brother out and for asking him to vacate my property. I've given him many chances to stop this behavior. Sorry, I can't read. To stop. Stop this behavior, and my brother won't stop shaming me for having been a stripper before I got my prestigious job, in quotation marks. These are his literal words. I'm a nurse anesthetic. Anesthetist? I don't know. Some sort of a nurse.
Aesthetic, like she gives the aesthetic, like the anesthetic.
You're just saying aesthetic.
I know, I messed up with the word twice. Yeah.
He has been
Anesthetic.
making offhand remarks about me having been a stripper since he found out 6 years ago. He gets on these long tirades about how how I am ungodly, unholy, and that the sins I committed can never be forgiven unless I repent and let Christ into my heart. I'm not religious. I'm not sorry. I'm certainly not a Christian and will never be one, but my brother refuses to accept this. Also, I only started stripping because his drug and gambling addiction ruined mine and our parents' life. He remortgaged their house, took out loans and several credit cards in our parents' names, and even sold our parents' identity to his former dealer.
Gosh.
I didn't know how bad the situation was until I came home one day from
My
university and found strangers living in our house. My father was too embarrassed to let me know they were living out of their car. They also never reported my brother to the police because my parents didn't want him back in prison. Last time he went in for 2 years, me and my parents were blackmailed to pay his prison debt. So when I found out my parents' baby sister and baby brother were living out of their car, I decided to work as a stripper. I made good money, and with that money, I was able to buy a house for my family, pay off my pay off my parents' debt, my brother's debt, and put my younger siblings through college / university. Dang! I'm gonna become a stripper. Are you kidding me? That sounds like bank. During that time, I also paid for his rehab and he got his shit together. Now he is happily married, employed, sober, and with a child on the way. FYI, I paid for his wife's IVF treatments. Last Sunday, our parents invited some people over for a big catered dinner. My brother and his wife thought this would be a perfect time to turn it into what he called a whore-avention and embarrass me in front of all the guests. I completely lost it. I was so enraged that I spent most of the evening cussing him and my sister-in-law out. I reminded him that I would never have been a stripper if he hadn't tried to ruin us. On Monday, I drew up an eviction notice and sent it to him. I want to cut all ties with him and his family. I am truly done with him. Almost everyone is telling me I am right in being angry, but it's terrible to kick him and his wife out when they are due to have their first child in 9 weeks. My parents are begging me to forgive him, and honestly, I feel like I have been and am being reasonable. I've given them 90 days. I am done being called the whore of Babylon and the downfall of mankind.
Oh my god.
Apologies for the length, but I thought I needed you all to know as much as possible, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I had to repost this because the moderators locked it down for breaking the rules. I have edited it and reposted it for judgment. Thanks. Edit. For clarity, I shipped for 5 years and used the money from that to claw myself and my family out of debt and pay for my brother's rehab. I haven't stripped in over a decade. I paid for my sister-in-law's IVF and bought the house my brother and his wife live in with my nurse anesthetist money, which is why he doesn't feel bad about asking me for help now, because this money wasn't made from sinning. Also, my sister-in-law is just as bad as he is. Not the asshole immediately. Yeah, I agree, Chaos.
Yeah,
Definitely not the asshole. It sounds like she did something super nice for her family, and honestly is just like a great sister. And the fact that he's like, now that he has overcome his issues, which I think his stuff would be considered a sin as well, and in the Bible, but now that he's overcome his stuff, he's like, you were a stripper. That is a sin. That is a sin. You're unholy. Even though she only had to strip because of the sins that he did and committed. So, kind of.
Yeah, also giving them
Hypocritical.
like what was it, 9 months or 9 weeks? Like what was the time frame?
Before
kick
kicking them
out.
out, 90 days.
90 days.
That's a good amount of time to
Yeah,
still
that's
find
3
yourself a
months.
place. Yeah. Yeah. Like it sounds like one the fact that he lives there with them after calling her a whore and everything else and like
Yeah,
that
and
she
like
paid
this is a continuous
the
thing that he said.
paid for the pretty much the whole reason why you have a child and all this other. My God.
It's all thanks to her. Like she did so much for him, and he's just
Yeah.
he is
Fuck that.
terrible. Like
Yeah,
that is horrible.
You know,
Also, pretty sure stripping isn't a sin. Yeah, definitely,
yeah.
definitely not. It's what the hell.
Yeah, what happened to Jesus washing prostitutes' freaking feet? All right,
Literally,
that's in
read
the Bible.
the Bible, guys.
Read the Bible.
This man needs to read the Bible. It sounds like he's picking and choosing. Which
That's
Yeah.
what they all do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it is common.
obviously not the asshole.
Not the
but-
asshole.
Absolutely not.
He's the
Absolutely not the
asshole.
asshole. This guy sucks.
This guy
100%
really
deserves to be
sucks.
kicked out. If he is so worried about his baby on the way, he shouldn't have had a intervention for her and like pushed her buttons like that. He should have been more
Yeah.
thankful and a better brother. Maybe
Also, the
then he
fact
wouldn't be
that the
getting kicked on his ass. Kicked out on his
Almost
ass.
feel like the parents feel like they're still on the son's side. Like,
Yeah.
oh, begging after what he did to them.
Well,
at
it's
the end of the
also-
day.
I think maybe part of it is they're worried about their grandchild because, you know, they have a grandchild on the way. They probably want the grandkid to be not on the streets, you know? But also, there's a very common thing with parents to take the side of, like, the brother a lot. Like,
Yeah.
his parents just always seem to baby their boys commonly,
Mhm.
especially if there's only one boy in the family. In this case,
Yeah.
there was a younger brother, so I'm not sure if it is that. But I don't know. Also, that's not what I think intervention is. She's literally not a stripper anymore. He was just trying to force her to convert to Christianity. Sorry, Autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. that's what
it's
it sounds like.
absolutely not what an intervention is. Oh my god, yeah, he sucks.
Oh my God.
She definitely
Yeah.
made the right choice kicking him out.
I agree.
Okay, so Reddit ruled not the asshole, of course.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Some comments. Not the
Okay.
asshole. I'm sitting here happily imagining you saying in front of the guests, well, you forced me to strip. If you hadn't remortgaged the house, making my entire family literally homeless, also you could get some drugs, then I wouldn't have had to find the fastest way to earn the most cash to literally put a roof over our heads. I'm so glad you are now so noble and wonderful. Move out of my house and pay me back the thousands of dollars you owe me. You asshole. He's a bigger asshole because not only is he using this against you, he's incredibly insecure and using bullying tactics to hide his own lack of capacity. Talk about a small dick syndrome.
Oh.
So, yep, definitely the asshole. And Reddit agrees.
Delta.
That's
Okay.
turn.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. So this one is really short, which I like.
It's
Okay.
good. Last one
So
was long.
am I the asshole for getting mad my artist hid their initials in my tattoo? Let's begin.
No, not the asshole. Go ahead.
This is a short one. Names change for privacy. I went to a tattoo shop in my area with a photo of the tattoo I wanted. It was one my dad had gotten to honor my past grandfather, whose father also had it. But the point is, it was important to me that that tattoo looked exactly as it did in the photo. I get to the shop, I explain everything, I pay, get the tattoo, and we're done. I think it looks awesome. Everything is great until a few weeks later when I show my great grandmother the tattoo. She is ecstatic, grabs my arm to look at it and compliment it, then asks, "Who's AJ?" I ask her what she meant. Sh- And and she points out on that tattoo were the initials A and J, or maybe the letter T, were hidden in the tattoo. I'm instantly pissed, as my artist's name is Alice Trevor. She tries to assure me that it's no big deal if I hadn't noticed it until now, but I still reach out to the artist, sort of irritated. They told me the style of let me go back, sorry. Okay. They told me the style of art I got is called traditional, and it's pretty trad for all artists who do that style to do it. I demanded a partial refund and they refused. So I complained to the owner who made the artist give me a full refund. Now the artist is running a full smear campaign talking about moving shops and all kinds of crap. My sister my sister says I'm an asshole for pushing the issue, but I feel like at the end of the day, I told you exactly what I wanted and you didn't do that. Am I the asshole?
I don't think they're the asshole. A tattoo is something permanent on your body, and you distinctly say what you want the tattoo to be. And for them to like put initials on it, like this isn't an art piece that's gonna end up in a museum for people to see. It's just on your body. Like there's no need for them
Yeah.
for there to be initials. Who's gonna go up, see the initials, and be like, oh, that's that amazing, talented artist. Blah blah blah. I recognize those
Who
initials.
did
Like,
that? Oh my
Uh,
god, Alice Trevor. Dang.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I've never
yeah.
Honestly,
heard of
artists,
this ever being done before.
yeah, the tattoo artist should have informed
Yes.
the client that they
Communicated.
wanted to do that, because that is a huge part of like getting a tattoo, is like being very upfront with your client about everything is happening, because at the end of the day, it is your body
Yeah.
that it will have
It's
this
a permanent
ink
thing.
on.
Yes. No,
I feel
absolutely
like,
they're not
But
the asshole. Like, I think that's
yeah,
a clear
I feel
case.
like if I had initials on my body, I'd be like, "What? You just branded me? Like, what the fuck?"
Yeah. Like they're
Like, I
treating
feel like you just
I don't
like you
know.
just now own me. Like you
Treating you
own
like
the
an
work
actual
on me.
canvas. Like
Yeah, I
wow.
do not agree
definitely
with
weird.
that.
But
Um,
also
I'm
that
not a tattoo
person
artist though, so I don't know.
but also that person should have done more research maybe? I don't know. But
Mm,
still, yeah,
I don't
it
know.
sucks.
It's hard to like say on that because they might not actually have that listed anywhere that they add their initials. It sounds like they just assume like, oh, this is something that everyone does in this kind of style. Like when the artist was disputing the fact, they said this is a common thing. They didn't say I have this in my policies or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
True.
I don't know. What does Reddit think? What are the comments? What's it
Okay,
reviewed?
okay. So, Emma, here we go. All right. Not the asshole, and I will even consider suing.
Yeah.
They kind of branded you with their initials, and
Yep.
they should get fired.
Agree.
I agree.
Did it get like an actual rating or is
It
it
does have a
too
rating.
new?
Yes, not the asshole.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want me
100%
to
agree.
read? Do you want me to read the second comment, or that's it?
Sure, you can read the second one.
All right. So
Boop,
it
boop.
is. It says the following. Here's the thing. I work in tattoos for over a decade, and I can tell you, no one. I mean, no one that
No.
is a professional artist will ever consider hiding anything, much less their own name or initial inside someone else's tattoo. It's not trad. it's not normal and it's not okay. I'm horrified. Some scratcher tried to pass this as a thing. It's not a thing. I'm with some of these other commentators that up should sue.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, okay, super uncool.
Okay.
All right, all right,
So, not the
all right.
asshole, clear cut case. That tattoo artist
Yeah.
should,
Get their tattoo license revoked.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Revoked and
honestly.
sued.
Yeah, if they want to put
but
initials, just make that clear. Say it in your policies, reiterate it. Like if it's such a big
confirm
deal
with
for
the
you to put
client.
initials in your tattoos. Yeah.
That's fucked, dude.
Tell them right before you do it. Tell them at the start of the appointment. Make sure that they know that they're actually okay with this. Okay, Amblush's turn.
I'm blush.
Okay. Am I the asshole for causing my roommate to lose his job due to failing a drug test?
Here we go.
All right. My job does not drug test. I don't
Okay.
smoke, but I do add THC and CBD oil to my snacks so I can stay mellow all day. I'm not bombed, but I am impaired. I don't drive due to neurological condition, and the weed helps me cope. My
Mhm.
roommate is well aware of that. I use THC in my food. I told him he was welcome to have some of my snacks, and I warned him about the weed. He declined because his company does drug tests. I guess he's spaced on wait, I guess he's spaced on on a night after coming home drunk and ate some of my snacks. I reminded him the next day that my stuff has THC in it. He said it wasn't a problem as he had recently been randomly tested. Well, he hit the jackpot because about a week later he was randomly tested again and he failed. To get
Ooh.
his job back, he had to go to rehab, which he has to pay for. He's
Ooh.
pissed at me, but I don't think I did anything wrong. I did not force it on him. I even reminded him the following day about the THC. He says it's my fault for even having it near him. He had passed the test before and it was near him. He didn't fail until he ate a bunch of my snacks. Now we are fighting and he may have to move out to afford rehab. Yes, I think it's ridiculous that he's blaming me, and I also think it's ridiculous that his company is forcing him to go to rehab for weed. Realistically, he is an alcoholic, and I think that is more dangerous.
Oh my god. Is that all?
That's it.
That's
Okay.
it.
I don't think this person is the asshole because they made it very clear that there
True.
was weed in their stuff. They reiterated it multiple times,
Exactly.
communicated that
Yeah.
fact, was clear about it. The roommate chose to eat their snacks, even if they were drunk. They still chose to go to work the next day, knowing that they had
Mhm.
something with weed in it prior.
Yeah, and it does stay in your system for a really long time. They said that
Yeah.
he didn't get tested again for until like a week later, but it was still in his system. But it is I think I don't think he's the asshole at all. He made it very clear.
No. Chaos says, it's my fault for even having it near him. He's a full grown man. He can make his own choices. OP is not the asshole. Roommate is the asshole. 100% agree with you, Chaos.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I
Definitely
agree.
Yeah.
not the
Roommate
asshole.
is the asshole.
Reddit also agrees
Yeah, by my
that
nose
he's
and
not
it
the
burns
asshole.
and itches. What? Yeah.
Reddit says that they're not the asshole as well.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
let's see.
Ba-da-ba-boom.
That one's also like more difficult than the past two, I'd say. But from the past one for sure. But this one's also pretty clear, like not the asshole. Just because like they were so forward about the fact that there is weed in this stuff. Like warned him
Mhm.
a bunch of times. He still ate the food. Still went to work the next day. Like if
Mhm.
he knows he could be tested and he knows he has it in his system, he could have like called out sick. I don't know how easy it is at that job, but I mean it sounds like the punishment of taking a day off would just have a hole in it already would be would be better than having to go to rehab over this. Although
I just
maybe the
realized you're
rehab will be holding my mic. Yeah, I thought it's
I just
fun.
realized.
I've been holding it this whole time, guys. I think it's more fun to hold my mic sometimes. Makes me feel like I'm on a podcast.
I was
Anyways,
gonna say that.
it just
You
is
should
very
make a podcast.
podcast vibes to me.
You should.
I don't think I would make a podcast. Maybe like in the future.
We have the
You
perfect
should-
name for a podcast, though.
Exactly. The Lost Sprouts.
Sprouts.
Um,
I'm so scared
Yeah.
to deal with like roommate stuff. Like from reading Reddit stories, there's a lot of bad roommate situations. Like a lot. Like all the Reddit stories have been about bad roommates. All of them. And I'm like, ooh. I'm gonna have to get a roommate if I move to California for class.
yeah,
and
it'd
it's
probably
gonna be a
someone you don't
random
know.
person that I don't know probably, unless like by the off chance it's somebody from my college that I become friends with from my community college. They decide to go to the same university or go to California at the same time as me, you know. But at the
Yeah.
moment, I have no friends that would ever move to California. I don't even want to
Alright.
move there.
Womp
Anyways.
womp.
Your turn, Ash.
Okay. This one I'm really excited for, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Ooh.
Am I the asshole for abandoning my mother-in-law in a parking lot full of watching people? I, female
Okay.
26, am a stay-at-home mom, and I pick up my daughter after school. My husband, male 35. That is quite the age gap, might I tell you? Takes her to school in the mornings on the way to his work. My mother-in-law got divorced a couple of months ago and not so subtly complained to my husband that she was lonely. So my husband insisted that we have her over every weekend. Mother-in-law and I don't get along. For example, she's always made snide remarks about me being a teenage mom, but I learned to ignore it since my husband asked me to keep the peace. When she began coming over, she would make comments about how dusty the floors were, how much laundry was in the basket, etc., hinting that I should be doing more housework as a stay-at-home mom. The final straw was when she commented about our daughter's academic abilities, saying stuff about how she's below standard academic level and blaming me for not putting in the effort to teach her. After a big argument, my husband finally agreed that only he would visit mother-in-law at her home. Mother-in-law and I haven't spoken to each other since. Mother-in-law's catalytic converter got stolen yesterday and hasn't gotten fixed. My husband drove her to work this morning and asked me to pick her up. I said no. Mother-in-law works fairly close to her daughter's school, about a 15-minute walk. In the middle of the day, my husband sends me a text saying that he convinced her to walk to her daughter's school so I can pick up both of them. I arrive at my daughter's school and see mother-in-law with daughter. I walk up to them and tell mother-in-law that she can find a way home, that I'm not going to give her a lift. She started to create a scene, and the other parents and children were starting to stare. So I took my daughter by the hand and drove away. Husband yelled at me when we got home, saying that I embarrassed mother-in-law in front of other parents and left her stranded when I could have easily driven her home. It really wouldn't have been much work to drive her home one time, and I'm regretting causing a scene at my daughter's school because her classmates and their parents might have seen it. Am I the asshole?
Oh.
So
That's a mix.
that
That's a mixed
one, I'm
bag.
like, I don't know, because the mother-in-law sounds kind of crummy. Doesn't sound like
Yeah.
the nicest woman. I, however, do think it's a bit of an asshole move to not just take her home. Like, just play nice and take her home, I guess. But at the same time, she's been having to play nice with a bunch of stuff. And it's not, I don't know. I don't think she should have to play nice all the time when this mother-in-law is clearly not playing nice on her end.
Yeah.
It sounds like, because she said, I regret it. She doesn't regret it because she feels bad for leaving the mother-in-law. She regrets it because of what other people might think, she says.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, ooh, that's kind of assholey a little bit. What do you guys think?
this one's hard. Um,
Well,
I
I
think.
think.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
okay, Delta, you go first.
Okay, okay, okay. Oh my God, sorry.
Go,
Okay, so
Delta.
okay, so I think. Hmm. I think I have to say the guy, the husband, is kind of the asshole.
Oh, yeah. But
I
it's
think
also
he's
his
kind
mom.
of the asshole, but I say kind of because, well, he has to do something so that the mother-in-law can understand the message, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I would have done things differently, but maybe he have tried multiple ways and it was not working. So maybe like this is like pretty obvious. Like, hey, buddy, you need to change something because yeah, I don't like you much. That's what I think. But yeah, so he's kind of the asshole,
The husband?
the husband.
Delta, do you think the husband is the one that left the mother-in-law at the school?
Wait, what? I. That's what I
Asshole?
thought.
No,
No, it's
the
the
wife.
wife.
The wife
Oh, the
did all
wife.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Let me go back. Sorry, the wife.
Okay, cool. Just want to clear that
Thank
up.
you.
Um,
Thank you so
I also
much.
want to like say the fact that the mother-in-law is shaming her for being a teenage mom is, first of all, not cool. Second of all, the freaking father, okay, the husband is 36. The wife is 26 or 35 and 26. That's the age
Yeah,
difference.
like that's
If
what
she's
I
a
was.
teenage mom, then the husband-in-law was like,
You mean the husband?
yes, the husband was like definitely over the age of 18 when she was
Yeah,
not.
that's what I noticed. I was like, "Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm like,
What was the
also
age
why
difference? A teenage mom? Huh?
why shaming just the wife? You know, shame your son too. Takes two to make a baby, sweetheart. You can't just blame
Yeah.
the mom.
It actually made me wonder if the child was actually,
Yeah, I was wondering that too. It's
his
not
or not.
clarified, so it's yeah. Let's see what Reddit says, guys. Reddit says everyone
I'm ready.
sucks, and I agree. Everyone does suck to some degree. I think more so the mother-in-law sucks the most. But everyone sucks a little bit at least.
I think she should just have sucked it up and
I agree. I would have sucked it
because
up.
at the end of the day, you're leaving a woman, right,
It's not cool to
and
do.
by herself
Yeah.
in a public space, even at a school or not. It's not exactly safe to just like leave anyone
No.
alone
No, I
and
think that
without a
made her
way
an
home.
asshole for sure.
Yeah.
That
So
part
that's
I'm
just my
like,
personal
"Ugh."
opinion.
And that's the entirety of it. So if that makes her an asshole, then she is the asshole. But she's the asshole because everyone else is the asshole as well. And honestly, I think the husband should take the wife's side more. Sounds like he isn't doing much of that. Comments. Everyone sucks. You should have an adult conversation with your mother-in-law about your boundaries and how you won't tolerate her deeming you with her comments. The state of your home and your child's education is not her business, and she can leave those subjects alone. But instead, you make your point by leaving her at your kid's school without any way of getting home. I get it. She's a pain in the arse, but acting like a child doesn't help the situation. Your husband knows how you feel. He knows how his mother feels, and still put you in a situation of having to drive her home. You all suck.
Yeah. That's what I believe. They all kind of suck.
And then somebody says not the asshole. I was going to say
Whoa.
go, everyone's the asshole. But then I realized your husband was an adult who knocked up a teen and then let his mother treat his wife horribly for years. Yeah.
I
You
agree with
said
that.
no. He heard no. He manipulated you anyways. True. She said she wouldn't pick her up. And he told the mom, walk here and she'll pick you up. Like the wife told him she would not drive the mom
Yeah.
home, and he did not respect that. So that's a good point. Okay. He manipulated you anyway. Your mother-in-law has spent years trying to humiliate you. I'm not going to call you an asshole when you finally were able to draw boundaries. She knows full well what she was doing all those years. Your husband knows too. He just doesn't care. This has always been a husband problem. He doesn't stand up for you, and he doesn't care that you said no. He still thinks you're a teen and he is the adult, and therefore he can manipulate you. He would rather keep mommy happy than respect you. There is a reason older guys are with younger women, and you are feeling repercussions years later. You have matured and are better able to stand up for yourself, and he just doesn't respect that. Ooh, okay, OP replied to this.
Oh?
Okay. So somebody replied to that comment by saying, I know, right? Mother-in-law makes comments about OP being a teen mom, but ignores the fact that her at least 27-year-old son impregnated a teenager. And then another person said to that, to be fair, I don't see any confirmation that this is the guy's biological daughter. And then the OP replies and says, he is the biological father. I had her when I was 19. I agreed to keep the peace with mother-in-law because my husband always lets me know that he was on my side. Obviously, he doesn't see anything wrong with my age. So she was 19 and he was 30 years old.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So
my
age difference.
goodness.
Yeah, well, actually, I think
Well.
9 years apart. If she was 19, then he was 28. So still like gross. I could not imagine. I'm 19, currently 19. I cannot imagine dating a 28-year-old man.
No. Mm-mm.
Like, no. I'm in my 20s, and my limit is like 5 years, unless they're fictional. If they're fictional, it doesn't count. Agreed.
Yeah.
If it's fictional, I will date somebody who's a lot older than me, okay? Wait. I will simp for somebody. You can't date somebody fictional. I know that.
You know.
I know that. You
Yeah.
can't. I know
Tell
that.
you-
Not yet.
And if they
Not yet,
are,
at least.
if they are people in TV shows that I simp for, okay? Pedro Pascal, Norman Reedus, Andrew Lincoln. But I just simp for them. I wouldn't date them.
Wow. What about that
But I would
guy?
simp.
He's
I
standing
simp.
right behind you.
Robert Pattinson.
That's Andrew Lincoln. I said him.
That's not Andrew
Okay.
Lincoln. That's Rick Grimes.
That's Andrew
The
Lincoln.
actor.
Oh.
I guess
Oh,
I
okay,
should
sorry.
say I don't actually simp for Andrew Lincoln. I simp for Rick Grimes. I simp for Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, see,
In
I
general,
don't
it's, you know.
actually simp for the actor who plays Charlie, aka Bella's dad.
But you
in
simp for
Twilight.
Charlie.
But I simp
Yeah,
for Charlie.
sometimes you simp for the character, sometimes you simp for the actor and their characters that they play. Okay, so there's an update.
Ooh, update.
Yeah,
Let's
get
go.
excited, guys.
Let's go.
Update.
Okay,
This is
ready
kind
for
of
the
long
update.
too. This is so fun. Okay. Hi, Reddit. Hi. Update. Am I the asshole banning my mother-in-law in a parking lot full of watching people? Hi, Reddit. Sorry this took so long, but I just signed the last of the divorce papers. Oh my god. Okay.
What the hell?
What a turn of events.
Wait. When did this one come out?
Back though.
Read.
Wait, sorry. So I want to say the first post came out a year ago. And the
Okay.
update was 7 days ago. This is
Whoa.
recent. Okay. Hi, Reddit. Sorry this update took so long, but I just signed the last of the divorce papers and wanted to share with the sub. I took the top comments advice and tried to have a conversation with my ex-husband and his mother, but they both just yelled at me and would not listen to anything I said. My ex-husband even went back on his agreement to not invite her over. Apparently, this was my punishment for disobeying him and embarrassing his mother. For a few months, I stayed with my best friend on the weekends, and she convinced me to divorce him. But because I was a stay-at-home mom, I needed a steady source of income. Early 2023, we started a candle making business on Etsy. It was really rough the first few months, but we began to gain traction, and I finally told my ex that I wanted a divorce. After I felt financially stable, he said, Wait, I finally told my ex I wanted a divorce after I felt financially stable. He said no, but I had already worked everything out with my lawyer. After I sent him the papers, he and his mother began harassing me, and he said that he would agree to the divorce only if I give up full custody of my daughter. Long story short, this ended up in us going to court, and I now have full custody. My best friend is the real hero of this entire story. She let me stay over for free throughout the proceedings and helped me care for my daughter. With all the alimony and the money I made from the candle making business, I officially moved in with my best friend and began paying her rent. I'm currently saving up to buy a place of my own. My daughter and I are really happy right now, and I can't believe that I didn't see how toxic my ex and his mother were for the 7 years we were married. I hope this is enough drama for the rest of my life, and thanks to all the people in my DMs who showed me how toxic my relationship was. Let's go!
Wow.
Yeah, we
What
loved
an
this.
update.
What an event.
Yes. I could not have asked for a better update. Honestly, I'm so glad she got out of there. Love this. Love this.
So
Yeah,
with
my
that
goodness.
update, do you think everybody is the asshole?
In the
From
update?
last one?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. With the
The whole
update,
I
thing,
think
of
that-
I'm
course.
like, the
With the
asshole
update.
was definitely just. And honestly, after reading some comments and thinking about it more, before reading the update,
Mhm.
I was at the point of like, she's not the asshole. The only asshole thing is like, it could be a little bit asshole like to abandon somebody, but remembering the fact that she set a boundary that she was not driving the mother-in-law home, and he still went behind her back and kind of tried to force her to drive the mother-in-law home. She's not the asshole at all. It's a
Yeah.
husband and it's
Period.
the mother-in-law. They're the assholes. I'm very happy about this update. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I love the updates where they talk about how, because there's a lot of Reddit stories where it's people who just end up revealing the fact that they're in a very shitty relationship, and then there's an update where they get divorced and they're happier, and it's great. And
We
they,
want people to be happy and
yes,
succeed in life.
yes, absolutely. The tea is giving,
Man,
right,
what an
Eddie?
update.
Right?
What an
Period.
update.
Yes,
That was a great tea. That was a great tea.
that was good.
That was so good.
I gotta say that I think that was my favorite story, just because like the update was
The
that was
update
it. That was why I
amazing.
picked that story, because I was like, ooh, anytime there's an update on Smosh, it is good shit. So I want to find at least one with an update, and this was the one I found, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, good for you, dude.
Good,
Good
good
story.
research also. That is dedication.
Thank you. Chaos says, I mean, you can kind of date a fictional character if they're from a dating game or in D&D. That's true. I have been dating 7 for the past
7.
Yeah, from Mystic Messenger, the game you were supposed to play with.
6 years.
Well, that's true.
Committed relationship. That's my longest relationship by a long shot.
I still
Anyways.
have it.
Well, you should. It's a great game.
I should give it a try sometimes.
Next, Delta. You want me to read it for you, Delta?
Yes, please.
I got you. Don't even worry about it, buddy. I like reading them. It's fun. Okay.
Okay, it is the second one.
The second one, really?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. This one, I saw this one and I was like, oh, that sounds good. All right. My nose itches. Hold up. Okay. Am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Daniel, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff. I like Like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like how sad. So you're how sad are you that you have to wait, what? How sad so you're
How
so bad
sad
at
are
this.
you? So you have to be a grown ass, right? I don't know.
Yeah, how sad are you? Do you have to be a grown ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. You were just acting. And we've done it a couple times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Daniel or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who had come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying, making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke? No, you're not the asshole. These customers
Definitely
deserve
not.
it. I worked at a fast food Mexican restaurant, a chain restaurant for the past, I just quit recently, actually, like 3 weeks ago. But I worked there for the past like 3 years almost 3 years. And I had to deal with customers like this all the time, like grade A arseholes who just needed to go off
Oh.
about something and just the most unnecessary things. I had a lady come in, slam a tamale on the table. She went, "Bah!" She said, "Would you eat this?" Because it was too hard for her, I guess. I don't cook it. I'm the cashier. Why are you yelling at me? I wish I had thought to do this with Angie, my coworker, because that would be hilarious. And I'm gonna have to tell her about this story. No, I think it's actually good because hopefully these customers learn that complaining about little shit like this can actually affect people, and maybe they'll
I
stop
think it's a good
doing
idea.
it. Maybe they'll cool down on being such butt cheeks about stuff, you know?
Yeah, I personally don't think they're an asshole. I think
No.
this is hilarious,
I think
honestly.
it's so funny. Sounds like a very funny like workplace. Sounds great.
I like personally believe that it should just be a requirement that every single person should work in a service industry job at least once in
they
their
get
life,
it.
so they understand. Because
Yeah.
some people are just so entitled, and it shows that they have never worked this type of job
Yeah.
ever. So
I
Damn
agree.
right. Damn right.
Definitely not the
yeah, not
asshole.
the asshole.
And Reddit agrees
Not
with
the
us.
asshole.
Yay!
Yay!
That was so
Um,
good. It was so funny.
Ash, I would like to say thank you so much for reading that. You did me justice, so thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, I guess
Um,
I have the final one.
Yeah, most of the comments are
Uh,
just people saying that they agree, like they're not the asshole and they're heroes for this, and that they're brilliant and hilarious. That's what most of the comments
Yeah.
are. All right, go ahead, Ambush.
I agree. Okay. So, am I the asshole for telling my wife I don't want her sister at our house all the time?
I read this. I read
You
this
read
one.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
yes.
forget it. Forget
Okay.
it right now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. My wife, 38 female, and I, 39 male, have been married for 12 years and have 3 kids, 10 and 7 years old twins. About 8 months ago, my wife's sister, Anne, 29 female, went through a pretty traumatic time. She found out that she was pregnant with a longtime boyfriend of 6 years. I wasn't It wasn't planned, but that didn't lessen the heartbreak when she lost the pregnancy at 10 weeks. To make things even worse, her BF left her. Okay, BF is boyfriend, because I keep thinking like,
Boyfriend.
okay, like
Yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
friend.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, but also in the first story I read, they were using it as best friend,
Usually,
and so it gets a little
m-
confusing.
best friend
yeah.
is
BFF.
BFF, even though it is best friends forever. But yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
so yeah.
okay. Um, Her boyfriend left her 2 months later and lives about 15 minutes from us. So obviously, we were there to support her with anything she needed. Neither
Mhm.
my wife nor Anne are close to their parents at all, so we were pretty much the only family Anne has. Anne was understandably heartbroken by what happened and was struggling pretty hard. My wife was very diligent about making sure Anne didn't do anything silly with her mental illness. I didn't want to say the word. Was struggling mental with her mental health and was struggling, so she pretty much included her in everything we did so she could keep an eye on her. This included turning an extra room in our house into a bedroom for Anne. The room has previously been a gaming slash playroom. For the past 6 months, Anne has been staying at our house 4 to 5 nights a week. She still has her own apartment, but she spends a vast majority of her time at our house and is included in pretty much all of our family plans. At first, I was understanding and knew my wife wanted to keep a close eye on Anne because she was struggling so bad. But having another adult in our house pretty much all the time has been wearing on me. Anne doesn't do much of anything to help around the house, and any time there is mention of chores or cleaning, she will scoot off back to her apartment with some excuse. Whenever I bring this up to my wife, she will make an excuse for Anne and says that she is a guest, so we can't expect her to help around the house. Anne is also now very different around our kids. She used to be very involved and a fun aunt and would babysit for us and we could have date nights. But now she refuses to be left alone with the kids for even a short periods of time because she says it's bad for her mental health after what happened. The other day, I asked my wife if she can ask Anne to watch the kids on Valentine's Day so we can go out together, and she refused and said I should know we can't ask that of her. It started a fight between us about Anne, and I expressed a lot of frustrations about how Anne is always at our house and I don't like it. I made the mistake of saying, "It's been 6 months. How much longer are we going to do this?" That pissed off my
Ooh.
wife, and she called me a heartless asshole. Before anyone asked, yes, Anne is in therapy from what I can tell, and she's doing so much better emotionally and mentally. I never said anything about this to her, but her boyfriend breaking up with her was a blessing. That guy was a loser, and I don't think he would have been a good father. I understand my wife feels responsible for Anne, but I also feel like she has a responsibility to keep me happy too.
Ooh,
This is good.
that one's difficult
This is
because
good. This is really good.
yes, um, like the husband should get to feel comfortable in his house, and like I totally get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I think the sister is just trying to look out for her sister, and I think that's really nice.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
maybe if she
But
could help around the house, that would like help out a lot, especially if she's like eating over there and stuff and using
Yeah,
dishes. You know, like when I
yeah,
stay at your place for a long time, Allie, I'll like start to help out with dishes a little bit.
yeah, a little bit.
I under
Um,
I understand, but the thing is that so so she lives 50 minutes away and she spends most of the times there and it's been over 6 months, so she is evading his space as well, invading, sorry, um his space. So I get where he's coming from, but at the same time he should be a little bit more empathetic,
yeah,
right? So
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
but
It's a
at the
hard
same
one to rule
time,
on.
so and also based on that edit, right, or that update, right?
There was no
So,
update.
no update?
No update. I didn't. I
My
didn't read the
apologies.
update.
Let me go back. Brrrt.
The last
So,
part is that what you're talking about?
based on that last part, so Anne is actually, you know, getting better and slowly, right? Um, getting to her feet, right? So, just be a little bit more patient, more empathetic, right? And, and that's it, right? Now, if it was more than a year, then I will get that. I will get it a little bit more. But it's been 6 months. I rest
Yeah,
my case.
I don't know. Like Eddie just said, the last bit was worded pretty icky. I kind of agree. I thought him saying like it's her responsibility to make sure I'm happy too
That's
Yeah.
was
another
a
one.
little like,
I didn't like that
huh?
part.
Huh?
That's another one too.
Um, I personally think now this is just me being a big sister. Bro, if you were in this situation, I would just be like, we gotta have Ash move in with us. The end
Yeah.
of the story. I need Ash to come live with us. I'm worried about them. They need to stay with us as long as possible until they are okay. And I would have a full on discussion about this with my partner.
And I'm sure
And
Kevin would be okay with that.
Kevin understands that I want you to live with me.
Yeah,
So-
Kevin's very. I stay at Allie's
Oh,
relatively
guys.
often. Like I'm over hanging out with Allie a lot. Allie's my best friend, and obviously my sister. So I'm over there a lot. And Kevin is always very understanding about that fact and very chill with
He gets
it. And
a
he
little
also
annoyed
looks out for
occasionally.
me like a big brother, and I appreciate that. I love Kevin, and I'm sure if we were in these people's place, um, Kevin wouldn't have an issue with it really.
No,
I
I
have
don't
to
think he would.
clarify. I have to clarify.
Okay.
So I just realized, thanks to you guys. So the wife and the other person are siblings.
Yeah.
Yes.
I missed
Yeah.
that part.
Oh,
I
yeah,
missed
that
that
was
part.
the.
Yeah.
Am
missed
I
that
the
part.
That's
asshole
a
for
big
telling
part.
my wife I don't want her sister at
Yeah.
I
the
mean,
house all the time?
yeah, whoops, my bad.
Yeah, it's a.
But yeah, so
So
that is a whole different case.
Reddit has declared him not the asshole.
I think nobody's the
Him?
asshole. He's a little bit the asshole, but at the same time, I don't know. I think he's just a little inconsiderate and like not very
I think
empathetic.
I understand where he's coming from, but
I don't think
like
he's
Ash
like a
said,
massive
yeah,
asshole.
yeah. So he's
And I definitely don't
kind
think
of
the sister's an
kind.
asshole.
Yeah, I think he is kind of an asshole um for not being empathetic and also not being patient.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit selfish too at the same
Mm.
time.
So here's some comments.
Here we
Uh,
go.
Not the asshole. You married your wife, not her sister. Just like babysitting is bad for Anne's mental health, constantly having her around is bad for your mental health. If your wife wants to continue to look after Anne, she can do so at Anne's apartment. Um, Another person says,
Well, she
I
also
want
has
to get it like,
kids to look after, so
yeah, I
can
know, like, what
she?
do you mean?
True.
I feel like that
This
would be
one's a long
worse because
one.
then she wouldn't be spending time with her husband. Then the husband would be like, my wife is always gone because she's at her sister's because her sister's not doing well mentally. Then the husband would complain about that if she decided to help her out at her
That
place,
is
you know?
true.
Okay,
Is
so
the
this,
sister pregnant?
she was, but she had a
Oh, was.
miscarriage.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So this person is commenting under that one saying, not to mention, being coddled and enabled like this is highly destructive to Anne's mental health. I understand she went through a loss, and if she continues to worm her way into ops, is it op or OP?
OP.
Okay,
OP.
OP's and his wife's lives as a means to live out a family she never got, she's never actually going to get better at all. And OP, even as a guest, I clean a house. Your wife is holding her precious sister and herself back. This is not a healthy dynamic anymore. Sit down together, come up with 3-part plan, one that can be enacted as short term and start to help with households not bumming off and feeling entitled to not being considered because she's going through something rough like everyone else in the world. A midterm goal, Anne cuts down on how often she's sleeping there, and you turn your room back into a playroom slash game slash guest room. And as long-term plan, Anne moves out by X date time spent with her must be balanced between your houses and hers, and she needs to be looking by X date for said dwelling.
I feel like these people don't have siblings or people that they care about at all.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, because like I don't know, maybe it's not healthy or not, but like
Yeah.
I don't think the sister is in the wrong. I do think
No, I think maybe push her
the
like a little bit. Like,
yeah,
you know,
you
I
should
think
push
it's
her.
totally okay to want her to help around at the house if she's there all the time. And I
Yeah,
think
or
that,
like help with food and taking care of the
yeah,
kids and stuff like
the
that.
kid's saying is like, that might be a bit hard, but she's gonna have to work
But
towards
she's
that.
also
But give
there.
her time.
The thing is, like, the one thing that I don't understand is that so she's having a tough time being around the kids, which is understandable. But she's also being around the kids all
Yeah,
the
she's just
time.
having a tough time being around them when like alone, which I'm like, what's the big difference there? Like, why does
Yeah.
being around them alone affect your mental health, but being around them with your sister or
Also, the kids are much
brother-in-law
older
is
than
fine.
it's 10 and 2 7-year-olds. They're not infants, which I feel like would be a lot more.
But I don't know. It's hard to talk on this
Yeah,
because
this
obviously we've never been through this, and I guarantee the Redditors who are saying he's not the asshole haven't been through this either.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't wish to palm this on anybody because that would be terrible.
No.
So.
Chaos says, I think he also needs to consider that the sister is in mourning and her entire world collapsed fairly suddenly. It's not being fair to her. Yeah, I'm not, like, of course.
That's a good point.
I think the biggest thing we're thinking of is obviously she miscarried. But that happened, and then her 7-year relationship ended. That's a long time that she spent with somebody. Like, that is a lot to happen at once.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Especially to leave after something so traumatic like that. That's quite terrible.
Yep.
Planned or not, you know? Like, that's rough.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's a little, like, messed up for the husband to be like, this breakup was actually a blessing because that guy was a dick. Like, that might be true, but that doesn't mean that's not hard.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
because
sometimes blessings are in disguise, though. Like,
yeah.
But it is.
But obviously
it is pretty mess.
she might not have come to that conclusion yet.
Yeah, she might
needs
need
time.
more time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has been fun. I definitely would want to do another stream like this in the future.
Yeah, this was fun. I actually
That's
never
cool.
really read Am I the Asshole? I get occasional
I never go
TikTok
on Reddit at all.
clips.
Really?
So.
I've
I never
literally
go
seen
too.
nothing from Am I the Asshole until Smosh's podcast and also Kallmekris. She had like some YouTube videos. That's where this all started.
I've seen some.
I watched her videos
seen
and
some
then I watched
clips.
Smosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, I see clips on TikTok. It would be them reading it out, but then on the side of it, they also have some weird slime or like weird satisfying video happening, and so I'll be paying attention to the satisfying video while listening.
Yeah,
to
it's always
I
haven't actually seen it with that story. I've seen some stories. I don't think they were Am I the Asshole stories though, but I know what you're talking about with like the satisfying thing. There's one where it's like paint, and it's just it's a loop. It's a loop, and it starts over and over, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't like that it keeps looping. I got bored. I want different things, switch it up. Anyways, thanks so much for joining. Bye.
Bye.